Meitä lähti 5 suomalaista Suomen lasten ja nuorten säätiön organisoimalle kehitysyhteistyökuvausmatkalle Etelä-Afrikan Johannesburgiin. Isäntäväki otti meidät avosylin vastaan ja majoituimme pienessä kommuunissa Westburyn kaupunginosan sydämessä. Aikomuksenamme oli tehdä elokuva yhteistyössä paikallisen nuorisokeskuksen nuorten kanssa. Koimme Westburyn mielenkiintoiseksi ja kuvausprojektin ainutlaatuiseksi mahdollisuudeksi kurkistaa yhteisön vilskeeseen. Kuvausryhmään osallistuneiden paikallisten nuorten avulla tavoitimme ihmiset, joita halusimme haastatella dokumenttia varten. Yhteisö sekä sen hyvinvoinnin ylläpitäminen oli suuressa osassa jokapäiväistä elämää ja kaikkien asukkaiden huulilla. Paikalliset olivat erittäin ylpeitä alkuperästään ja halusivat tuoda esiin yhteisössä esiintyviä positiivisia asioita kuin myös piinaavia ongelmia. Lähdimme tutustumaan dokumentin varjolla Westburyn yhteisöön.
We love this community. Westbury, this is where we grew up and this is home for us.
We don't have dance groups, we don't have musicians, we don't have all those things, we don't have photography schools.
I don't think that Westbury is as bad. If you love here, you'll love it. This is a very nice place.
You know, once overcoming that fear and that negativity, I find it a very beautiful community full of people with vision.
Don't go out and say, come and see what's happening in Westbury. Come and see the visionaries in Westbury. Yes, we don't go out to look for them. We don't have marketers who can sell it abroad. We don't even have what we call a website.
People love helping one another and they love doing good to other people.
So I find this community vibrant, talented, extremely confident. And there's a lot of love in this community. I don't know, somehow I can't get myself to move too far away from it.
The story must be told. The truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because the platforms are not there.
Yhteisön ihmiset olivat lämpimiä ja ystävällisiä. Iloisten hymyjen takaa oli havaittavissa kuitenkin myös paljon hiljaista huolta ja murhetta. Maata varjostavat työttömyys, harmaa talous, rasismi ja gangsterismi ovat peruja apartheid-ajasta, jolloin valtio erotteli mustat, valkoiset ja värilliset keskenään. Tällaisia paikkoja, joihin ihmiset erotettiin, kutsuttiin townshipeiksi, jollainen myös Westburyn alue aikanaan oli. Apartheid on päihitetty, mutta se on jättänyt omat jälkensä kansalaisiin.
I came to Johannesburg in 1989 and I lived in this community ever since. I was forced to move here because the then apartheid government didn't build schools for what color am I now again? Jeez. For brown people.
So moving to Westbury, like I said, we come from different areas. Remember it was during apartheid. Blacks used to live there, colors used to live there, whites had to live there.
There was a time that we used to depend a lot on the government, but the government has done actually nothing. So now they've turned it around and made it as a community to help each other out.
We have changed from Western native to Western colored, and then Westbury eventually, and then there was lights.
We've had this thing of gangsterism in our location since before we were born. So it's kind of grown into us like as a culture.
It started off very scary because I arrived in the heyday of gangsterism and a lot of crap that was happening in the community. So I didn't feel safe.
As a youngster, it was not easy growing up in this surrounding area because we were faced with very negative influences, people that used to rule over this part of the community.
And how did gangsterism start in Westbury? It was a case of playing. We used to play with cardboards, hitting one another, running away, belts, use your belt to hit your brother.
Some people have tried to stop it, but it's just like it's getting worse. It doesn't go away. The problem won't go away.
When we came here in 1986, the children was much worse. In fact, most of the children were adults. And gangsterism was still the in thing. But we've come a long way eradicating most of that.
My life was about fighting, and you couldn't go there without fighting, on that side of the of Westbury. You couldn't walk in Western without fighting.
The first time I went to prison was when I was still a young boy. But then as you grow older, that's when prison starts changing. It's either you're gonna take up a number or you're gonna just be a normal person and live shit in prison.
I remember one incident at the Coronation Hospital where they murdered one of my friends. They chopped him up practically and things like that. Okay, those guys went to prison. They got 15 years and 10 years and 12 years. That did not even scare us. We continued doing this nonsense for no apparent reason.
I found myself entangled in a lot of cases where the charges against me was attempted murder, it was armed robbery, I was in jail,
When you take up a number in prison, it's like you're becoming somebody in prison. And to become that somebody, you've got to tattoo yourself, and there's two ways of getting the number. Right? It's either somebody's gonna sleep with you for the number, or somebody's gonna give it to you by you going to hit somebody else. Like they say, you go and skit a cop.
My brother was standing right here. Actually came down from our house, from my mother's place, and as he walked down, I just heard like 2 shots going off, and as I heard the shots, I saw him fall here, and they shot him at the back of his head, and the bullet came through his eye, and it was heartbroken, and because of that reason I found myself entangled in gangsterism, where I thought I can be better than him.
It was a trend that we followed. For me personally, I started hanging out with the gang when I was in standard 7.
I've buried quite a few of my students, family members through violence, but I've also been at really proud moments, where I look at some of the youth that I've been involved with and just see them smiling, make a difference.
We never glorified gangsterism. We are saying we hence want to invite everybody in Westbury to hold hands with us so that we can make a difference.
People that used to be enemies around here, you actually see them hang out together now.
4 years ago, Westbury was a very nice place. You could have walked 8 o'clock in the street, 9 o'clock, but now you can't even walk 7 o'clock around.
One problem replaced gangsterism, and that is the drug problem in our area.
Gangsterismi on päällisin puolin taltutettu, mutta osa nuorista liittyy silti jengeihin. Nuoret, jotka liittyvät jengeihin, haluavat tuntea kuuluvansa osaksi porukkaa, jonka periaate on suojella sen sisällä olevia ihmisiä, taaten täten turvallisuuden tunteen ja antaa tarkoituksen elämälle ja toimeentulolle, muuten niin epävakaasta ympäristössä. Tämä antaa kuitenkin vain illuusion turvasta. Jengeytyminen ja huumeet ovat suurin syy, miksi alueella esiintyy paljon rikollisuutta. Yksi selkeimmistä rikollisuuden muodoista tuli ilmi monen paikallisen kommenteissa.
It's heartbroken to see our young girls, beautiful young girls that sell their bodies for a next fix.
It has destroyed families. It has destroyed lives. I've seen people that went to school, finished their matric, had good jobs. Today they don't even have shoes on their feet.
You just see your child fading out. But then he or she still right in the house, fading. What is that? The silent killer of these drugs.
I wouldn't, take it past statistics if they say that the Westbury area is the area with the most drugs in the country.
Before it wasn't like it is now. Before it was just people smoking pot,
The kind of drugs we have is tuck, crystal meth. That's the kind of drugs we have in our community. Cat, ecstasy.
The guys that sells the drugs, look at the cars, look at the houses, look at the clothes they're wearing. But what do you have? A 50 rand skipper for 50 rand packet which you are using.
I believe that drugs is merely just a symptom of what is really wrong in our community. A lot of the guys have lost hope, but I don't think we've lost it battle.
There is hope. There's hope against the drugs and the gangsterism and the crime and everything.
I beg to differ. I think that we are fighting a losing battle within the community with regards to drugs.
I polluted our young people with drugs, you know. I polluted their minds. They thought that, yeah, you have to sell drugs to be someone in this community called Westbury.
If you take the national crime statistics and you see how many policemen are actually convicted of corruption, right? We can draw from those statistics and say, it is evident in our community. I would go as far as saying that it seems actually that they're assisting instead of stopping.
We need to say no more to crime, no more to corruption. I mustn't corrupt the police, and in return they mustn't accept the corruptor, the corruptee's monies.
We have to get to the root of this problem, because it's senseless getting rid of the seller. That guy at the corner, he gets it from someone else. Now getting that guy from the corner doesn't take the drugs away.
They call it nice names, lolly lounges. It's not on. Our 15-year-old girls, when you go into that lolly lounge, they are stripped from their dignity. And what are we doing as a community, as parents? Because the parents will tell there's no food, there's no job. What can we do?
A lot of people that was bound by drugs and that came out of jail, they've changed their lives around. A lot of them are in church, you know. There is development taking place, but not as quick as we would want it to take place, you know.
Huumeet ovat suuri ongelma alueella, ja niistä eroon pääseminen vaikuttaa välillä mahdottomalta taistelulta. Monet pääsevät irti huumeista kirkosta saamansa avun kautta. Kirkon vaikutus on suuri, ja se toimii aktiivisesti kansalaisten hyväksi. Yhteisössä riittää ihmisiä, joilla on vielä toivoa ja halua tehdä töitä paremman tulevaisuuden puolesta, täten edistäen yhteistä hyvinvointia. Paikallinen nuorisokeskus pyrkii ennaltaehkäisemään nuorten väliinputoamista yhteiskunnasta, tarjoamalla heille toimintaa ja tukea tulevaisuuden haaveiden saavuttamiseksi.
So Westbury Youth Center is really a space where, that we're trying to create a space of hope, where the youth of the community can walk in and we offer them, a variety of solutions to the complex problems that our community faces every single day.
Before, none of us young people had anywhere to go besides sitting at home.
When I reached court, they asked me, "What are you doing now?" And then I said, "I'm actually volunteering at the youth center." They asked, "What are you doing?" And I couldn't explain to them what I was doing.
At the center, we're trying to teach the youth things like respect, entrusted with a lot of equipment that are very expensive. So it starts with little things like respecting that video camera, respecting that camera, taking responsibility for it.
The prosecutor was sitting there with her tablet. I'm ready to get my sentencing, and the prosecutor sits there with her tablet, and I ask her, "Can I just go onto Facebook and show you all what I was doing?" And she says, "Okay." And she gives the tablet, and I open it, and my face is like the first face that showed up there. He took that into consideration when he came out. He told me that since you were doing something good, I don't think you deserve to go back to prison.
I think our youth in our community have marvelous talent, and the only way it can be nurtured is when we have more people like me stepping up to the game. Like if we go out here and just give 1 hour of your time every single day, that's how it will be nurtured.
Now things have changed dramatically in that, for example, at this school, I would say close to between 65 and 70% of our family structure here, or families, are single parent families.
My son is 3 years old, and I one day want to see him grow up as I grew up, not in poverty, but having a positive mindset, knowing that life is not all about struggle, life is not all about doing drugs or smoking or drinking. Life is all about expressing your love through your talent that God has given you.
sexual. In fact, we use the public platform called Facebook and we share our feelings one towards another, men towards men, woman towards woman. It's a sin from the pit of hell.
We are a couple. We've been together for almost 5 years.
The sexuality in the community, it's like basically it's open.
People around here think, some think that it's okay and others don't. Like, God said it's a son, not Adam and Eve.
Adam and Steve and such things, yeah.
God did not create Adam and Steve.
Come on.
God was very clear when He created Adam, and out of the ribs of Adam, He formed Eve.
Our age are open to it. They're very open to homosexuality and lesbians and things. They actually think it's cool.
It is very, very open now than it was before.
Feature of this community, I see everybody working together. I see people coming from outside trying to help our community.
I think that Westbury has a bright future. There's a lot of talent in Westbury.
Especially in football.
I also think that a child in sport is a child out of court.
Yeah. Good answer.
I think, the future holds for us, it is more a moral issue. If we can bring our morality back, into place, I think our future is brighter.
I would like to see people that was once enemies being friends.
There's lawyers that were born in Westbury, born and bred. There's doctors that came out of Westbury. There's social workers. There's a lot of people that made a difference.
Change will come in Westbury. It has changed from worse situations to better, and I believe that it will change.
Yhteisössä on ihmisiä, jotka ovat valmiita taistelemaan paremman Westburyn puolesta ja uskovat muutokseen. Kaikkien näiden negatiivisten asioiden keskellä ihmisten sydämistä löytyy sellaista hyvyyttä, mistä me suomalaiset voisimme ottaa mallia. He jakavat vähästään muille ja auttavat toisiaan hädän ja surun hetkillä. Alueen voimavara piilee tulevaisuuden rakentajista ja sieltä ponnistavista lahjakkuuksista. Where did Westbury get its nickname cheese?
I think it's just like the location. That's just the abbreviation, like cheese. Most people will, like, when you translate it to Afrikaans, they'll say die kaas. It's just shortened from location.
Cheese boys.
Guys trying, to show off to the girls, we used to dress in a certain way, cheesy way.
When you hang out here, it's very nice to be in the cheese.
I think if you look at cheese, it's a nice, smooth,
Because it's just a total slang. Because since the forced removal, like I said, we were thrown into this area like a melting pot.
It's a nice, smooth.
I don't know. Can we still use it because it's now a modern time now?
I never actually thought about it that way. The cars. But it's a cool name if you think about it. Cheese.